Hey guys, good morning. Um, Welcome to our second Movement Mondays. If you were here last week, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome in. Go ahead if you want. There's a chat box on the side. If you want to say hello to me, you can, so I know who's here. If we haven't met before, my name is SarahWildman. I'm a dancer, choreographer, and actress from Atlanta. I dance with a company here in Atlanta called Zoetic Dance Ensemble. We're doing these Movement Mondays just to sort of get into our bodies, learn some movement, learn some sort of, hey, Jenica, modern dance basics. This is all sort of based on the Gaga technique and inspired by other modern dance techniques. I love you, Jenica. So yes, please feel free to use the chat and let me know who's here. If you have any questions at any time, you can definitely pop in there and ask me. Hopefully, you just sort of move, groove, listen to my voice, try to follow along, and just like have fun, have a good time. So last week we started on the floor. This week we're going to start standing. We'll start in like 1 more minute just to sort of let people come in. Hey, Rob. Good morning. So if you want to go ahead and get started, if you're here, go ahead and just stand, find some space to move. I'm sure you all have sort of sequestered a little bit of space inside of your apartments. Go ahead and stand with your feet just right underneath of your shoulders. And if you want to go ahead and close your eyes and just start to focus on your breath. Just breathing naturally in through the nose, out through the mouth. Wait about 1 more minute to really get moving. So go ahead and just stand with your feet hip width apart. If you're just sort of joining in, just feel free to follow along. You're going to stand with your feet hip width apart, close your eyes, and just start to focus on your breath. So my ask today is that you just have a good time. Be present in your own body. We're going to work a lot on our mind-body connection. Really just connecting movement to our brain, to our thoughts. So we're going to start that by really focusing on our breath. Start to visualize as you breathe in, just the light entering your body and just flowing down throughout. If while you're doing this scan from your head to your toes and back up, if you're finding any areas that feel any tension, just try to let it go, relax. You can sort of shake it out a little bit. Starting to take a little bit deeper, more intentional breaths, deep breaths in through the nose, really expanding the ribs and then out, exhaling everything out. Taking those nice deep breaths in, visualizing the air entering your mouth, flowing down into your lungs. And when you exhale, that air pressing out down your arms, down your legs. And go ahead and just check in with yourself. Sort of see where you're at today. There's no right or wrong, so anything that you're feeling, just sort of let it be. Just sit with it. Meet yourself where you're at today. And go ahead and set an intention for class or for yourself for the day. Just really try to focus on something really intentional. Maybe you want to focus today a little bit more on letting go. Maybe you want to focus on really trying to get into your body, trying to stay focused on all those movements. Or maybe your intention is to just feel good. That's totally fine. Keep taking those deep breaths in. Just center yourself with your thoughts. Exhale. Press everything out. Good. We're going to take a couple last breaths together. Deep in through the nose. When you feel like you can't take any more air in, take a little extra breath at the top and then exhale. Press everything out. When you get to the bottom, press any extra air out. Another deep inhale in. Little breath at the top. Exhaling everything out. Now go ahead, keep your eyes closed. Start to wiggle your fingers. Just your fingers here, trying to find some circles, trying to find some movement, waking up those joints. Just creating little tiny movements here. really focusing on all those tiny little bones in your fingers, maybe trying to create some movements that maybe take a little bit more thought. Slowly letting that movement come up into your wrists. So we're circling with our hands and our wrists, just bringing movements to those joints, trying to keep everything else still. Now letting that movement move up into our elbows. Try to keep the shoulders quiet. Really try to just focus on the joints that we're moving and exploring all the different ways you can move in those joints. Now add in your shoulders. So right now it's just our arms moving. Try to keep everything else still. Little bend in the knees. Finding circles, finding angles, trying to keep everything going. And then let the back of your neck get involved. So we're moving our head and our arms. You can keep your eyes closed, or if it makes you a little more comfortable to open your eyes here, you can. Letting that movement go down into your rib cage. So we're isolating just the upper body, the head, the hands, the elbows, the shoulders, trying to keep everything else quiet, adding in the rib cage. Explore your back space. Let your head go forward up towards the ceiling. Play with your dynamics a little bit. Maybe get a little bit faster and then slow it down. Now adding in the hips. So starting to create circles and angles with the hips and keeping everything else going. So try to explore all the different areas of your room, reaching out to all the walls, all the corners, letting the movement flow down into your knees, trying to keep the feet still while everything else is going. See if you can challenge yourself to move all these body parts at once. So keep everything going. And then letting the movement go into your ankles. Play with your speed a little bit. My feet are still planted on the floor. Now, let your feet get involved. So moving your toes, your ankles, exploring the sides of your feet. So you've got the insides of your feet, the outsides of your feet. Just seeing how you can explore all of the areas of your body while keeping in mind all the space in your room. So all of the space on the floor, all the space above you, and just keep that breath going. Just creating some movement here. Should feel good. Trying to keep everything moving. So you notice there's a part of you that's being still. Try to get it involved. Lastly, try to let everything happen from the core, from the inside out. Good. Just keep it up. We're going to slowly quiet everything down, starting with our feet. So quiet the feet. Try to keep everything else moving. Just exploring here. Quiet down your ankles and your knees. This part's a little tricky. Keep your hips going, your rib cage, your upper body. Good. Letting your hips quiet. So it's just our upper body here. Try not to make the movement any smaller. Good. Keep up that breath. Then let your rib cage quiet down. So it's just our shoulders and our arms and our head. Keep that breath up. Seeing all parts of the room. You've got space behind you, above you, below you. You've got your fingers, your elbows, your shoulders. Good. Now quiet the shoulders down. Try to keep the head going and the arms. Gently quieting down the back of the neck. So we're trying to just move our elbows and our hands. And then slowly quiet the elbows down. So it's just our wrists and our fingers. Seeing what kind of movement you can create here. Slowly quieting your wrists, moving down just into the fingertips. Keep that breathing going. 3, 2, 1. Good. And just let your body float. So just become a little bit soft here. Everything can be involved. So you can move your feet. Try to walk around your room a little bit. Moving your feet, checking out all your spaces. Just keep that breath, that light going here. Staying nice and lifted. Thinking that air is lifting up your pelvis, your rib cage, and you're just sort of floating here. Finding all those little movements, all those nooks and crannies. Good, letting it speed up a little bit, get a little bit more wild here. Just let your body go. Follow any impulse you might feel. If you want to go to the ground, you can go to the ground. If you want to jump, adding a little bit of jumps. Just let yourself go, moving from the inside out. So taking everything from the core out. So everything is really intentional. We're not trying to just sort of float with our arms. Try to let that air take your body with you. 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and stand with your feet right under your hips. Take your right hand to the left side of your head and gently pull your head over. So you're feeling a nice stretch down the left side of the neck. Extend the left fingertips out. Good. Other side. So go ahead, put your left hand on the right side of your head, letting the head drop over the shoulder. Pull those fingertips down. Feeling a nice stretch in the right side of our neck. Good. Now without your hands, go ahead and drip your right ear down to the right shoulder, trying not to bend over too much. Then use the left side of your body to pull you back up to the top. Feeling nice and tall here, so I'm extending through the neck. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder, dripping down but not too far. Use the right side to pull you up. Keep that space in between your chin and your chest. Now, take your right ear over to the right shoulder, drip down a little bit farther. Keep your legs straight here. Use the left side to pull you up. Left side. Left ear drops down to the right shoulder, dripping over. Feeling that elongation and stretch through the right side of the body. Use the right side to pull you up. Good. Dropping down to the right. Bend your knees a little bit here. Drip a little bit lower. Try to keep your shoulder up towards the ceiling like we're in between two walls, and pull everything back up. Dripping down to the left. Bending your knees. Going as far as you can. Keep that shoulder open and up. Now, let it speed up a little bit. Keep everything nice and loose. Keep your belly button pulled back towards your spine to protect your back, but try to let everything else go. Side to side. If you can make it all the way to the ground, you can use that hand to push you up. Just dripping down side to side. Last 3, 2, 1. Good. Now going forward, take the top of the head, drip it down the body without bending your knees. Just go as far as you can. Belly button in tight. Pull yourself back up all the way nice and tall at the top. Keep that space between the chin and the chest. Drop your chin down, the head drips. Without bending your knees as far as you can go, pull the belly button in all the way back up. And again, dropping the head down, this time bend your knees, drip a little bit farther over, keep the belly button pulled in, all the way back up to the top. Again, drop the head down, bend the knees, press the hands into the floor, stand up at the top. Drop the head down, hands all the way to the floor, coming back up. This time, take your head back, open your chest towards the ceiling, getting a nice high release, then drip back down. All the way down, all the way up. A little bit in your own time here. Opening the chest to the ceiling, feeling that opening up here. Stay lifted. Good, drop the head down. Use the hands to push off the ground. A couple more times. And last one, dripping all the way down, standing all the way back. This time, let's see if I can stay in frame. Drop your head all the way down, press out into a high plank. Good. Now slowly bend the knees, walk the hands back towards the feet, press the heels down into the ground, roll up to stand up. Repeat that. So drip the head forward, shoot it out into a high plank, sliding against the ground if you can. Then slowly keep your hands flat on the ground, pressing. Stay nice and grounded here. Press up, curl up. Let's do that one more time. So head drips down, slide out into a high plank. Keep your hips down, and slowly walk your hands back to the feet and all the way up. Taking some weight into our hands. So pressing out into that high plank. If you can, one push up. Elbows in tight, down and up. Walk it back. If you need to do that push-up from your knees, you can. We'll repeat. Drop that head down, sliding out to a high plank, hips down. Elbows in tight, one push-up, down and up. Core in tight as you walk the hands back. Standing up. This time, drop the head down, slide into that high plank. We're gonna arch the back, send the hips back. High release here, rolling back into a downward dog. So my hips are up, my heels are pressing into the ground. Then roll out, round your back into a high plank, bend the knees, stick the butt up in the air, arch the back. Head goes towards the ceiling into a downward dog. Let's do that one more time. Rolling out into a nice tall plank, hips down, arch the back, butt goes back, head goes up into a downward dog. Just sort of stretch out here in your down dog. If you want to pedal your feet back and forth, you can. Pressing out of the hands and out of the shoulders. Just do whatever you need to do here. If the down dog is too much, you can go into a child's pose if you want, or a tabletop. It's up to you. If you're still in your down dog here, go ahead and drop down into a high plank. We're going to do some plank walks. So what I want you to try to play with is the way that you can press off of the ground. So obviously we have hands and feet that we can use to press off of the ground. But what else can you use? So go ahead. You can set your hips down if you want. Try pressing through your shoulders, through your knees, through your elbows. If you've got carpet, maybe your head, your shoulders. If not, and you want to stay in your plank, just sort of take yourself around your room, seeing how you can do different weight distribution here. We really want to take some weight into our upper body, into our hands, but just see all the ways you can move around the room. If you've got a weird shaped room like I do, you can go around your bed. If you're in your kitchen, just go ahead and check it out. Pressing out of the hands, keep the belly button lifted to protect your back. Plank walks, just explore, get a little bit grounded. So if we haven't done a ton of floor work, maybe just see how it feels to make some contact with the floor, with the back side of your body, something besides your hands and knees. Just take a walk. Keep the belly button in tight. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and meet me in a tabletop here. So you're going to have your hands under your elbows, under your shoulders, and your knees will be right under your hips. What we're going to do is a couple cat-cows just to stretch out the spine. So I want you to drop your belly towards the ground, arch up, head goes towards the ceiling, then pull the belly button in tight, round your back like an angry cat, pressing all the way out of your shoulders, chin goes to the chest. Drop the belly down, arch the back, head goes towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull the belly button in tight, rounding the back, pressing up all the way through the shoulders. Drop the belly down, arch the back up. Last time, belly button in tight. Exhale, keep your breath going, rounding all the way up into a cat. Coming back to our tabletop, go ahead and pick a side that you want to start and just make a nice big circle. So we're coming up through our cat into a side bend. So your shoulders going towards your hip, then drop the belly down to a cow, side bend, all the way up. Just making nice big circles here. Good. And just reverse to the other side. So other side, head to hips, arch the back, side bend, and up. Trying to make the biggest circle you possibly can. Really feeling the stretch and the opposite sides of the rib cage here. Good. Now tuck your feet under, press up into a downward dog, walk the hands back to the feet, and slowly roll up with nice bended knees. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna float. So coming back to our float here, I'll adjust my camera. Keeping that air lifting you up here. Just sort of feeling lifted, nice and tall. Feel if you feel any different after doing a little bit of core work After getting your upper body involved, just floating around the room. Good. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start a little run in place exercise. So our feet are right under our hips in the position we started in today. I want you to sort of run in place like you've got a little tiny light jog going on. So I have a slight bounce here, just sort of creating my own rhythm, just visualizing myself on a little jog here. Now, slowly let it speed up. So try to keep the same rhythm, but get a little bit faster. Good. Keep breathing, really pumping the arms. You can start to bounce in the heels a little bit more. Let it get a little bit bigger. We're kind of in a wide run side to side. Good. Keep it up. Get a little bit quicker. Keep that rhythm going. Nice and fast. Speed it up if you can. Keep it going. Core in tight. 3, 2, 1. Start to slow it back down. Try to keep the same rhythm, but slowing the movement. So keeping up the pace, making the movement smaller until we're back into our little light jog here. Side to side, little bounce. Then slowly letting it totally fade away. Little side sways here and stop. We're gonna start again. Little tiny sways, side to side, starting that little jog in place. I've got a little bounce in my knees. Keep breathing. Keep that speed. Let it get a little bit faster. Let that bounce get bigger side to side. So instead of running forward, we're gonna run side to side because we're in place. Keep it up, let it get a little bit bigger. Try to keep that same rhythm. Really pumping the arms, keeping the belly button pulled in nice and tight. Let it get as big as you can. Really move, really push off those feet side to side. 3, 2, 1. Start to slow it down. Make the movement smaller. Trying to keep the same rhythm. Really focusing here. So focus on how you can make this movement slower without changing your rhythm. Start connecting the mind to the body. Slowly moving down into a little in-place jog, slight bounce in the knees. Then let that slowly fade away to a little side sway. Good. Now we'll take a little breath. Float up. And I want you to try to explore some angles here. So the easiest one is like the angle your elbow can make. So I can bring everything in, folding, and then I can expand everything out. So start maybe with your elbows, exploring the folds. Really try to focus here. So how can I fold it in and then open out? Then you can move into your knees and your hips. It's okay if you want to go a little bit slow. What are the different angles I can make here? So how can I make an angle and then open up that angle? Just focusing on your legs and on your arms. Maybe bringing your elbows to your knees. Feeling all the different angles here. It's okay if the movement is a little choppy. Really just try to focus on opening all the way up, closing all the way in. Getting your ankles and your knees involved. Good. Now, changing from this angular movement, we're going to focus on making circles. So, what kind of circles can you make? So I can make a big circle with my whole body. I can also make little circles with my limbs. So just exploring some circular motions here. So letting the knees circle, ankle circle, body circle, arm circle. Let your head get involved. Really try to see if you can come up with some different movements here. Something that you haven't done before. If you have some impulses, follow them. Let your breath go, let your head go. and letting this movement get a little bit bigger. All these circles, just let it go. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, move back into that float. Catch your breath a little bit here. Feeling that air lift you up. Now, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna make your body a little bit stiff. So everything's a little bit hard here. A little bit of tension. And try to see how you can create some movement here with some stiffness in your muscles. So I've got my quads engaged, my biceps, my shoulders, feeling the way the muscles feel against the skin when they're contracted. Good. Make everything really stiff. Squeeze everything in your body. Squeeze your jaw, your face, your legs, your feet, your hands. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything tighter. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Let it go. Good. 3, 2, 1. Everything tight. Make everything as tight as you possibly can. Squeeze the hands, squeeze the face, squeeze the jaw. Everything's squeezing. Everything's contracted. 3, 2, squeeze. 1. Let it go. Good. Grab a little sip of water. We're going to move into a little bit of technique. So if you've got some water and you need it, take a quick sip. For any reason you have a question for me real quick, you can set it in the chat. We're going to move and just a little bit of technique. So if you're not a dancer, don't worry. I say technique just to sort of get some basics in there. But again, there's really no right or wrong today. So just feeling the movement in your body. We're going to start with an exercise called fondus. It's like a ballet exercise, but we're going to make it fun. So if you are a trained dancer and you want to do your fondus turned out, that's totally fine. If you're not, go ahead and put your feet right under your hips, just like we have them before. This exercise is really great for lengthening. So when we're doing this, I want you to think about lengthening from your back. So almost like you have wings, your shoulder blades are what hold your arms out. So it's sort of the difference between this and this. So I'm really pulled up and out. Sorry, I hope you could hear me when I was turned around. So think about really growing and lengthening in this exercise. The other thing that we're going to do is a couple different positions. So the first is going to be a coupe, and that is just your foot right at your ankle. So that's a coupe, or I'll call it like the low position. And then passe, you'll bring your knee a little bit higher. Don't worry about what your feet are doing. Just bring your knee up. The other foot attaches at the knee. So this is a passe. So the higher position, the lower position. We have a coupe and a passe. And I'll talk you through this nice and slow. So for our fondus, go ahead and take a deep breath. Pull everything out. Core is engaged. Shoulders are rolled down and back, but my ribs are in, and I'm really lifted. You're going to brush that front foot off the ground if you can. If not, it can stay on the ground. So brush it off the ground. Bend your knee. Bring the hands in. Keeping up nice and tall, and then extending out. Set everything down. Now we're going to go to the side. So brush your foot out to the side. Pull up. That'll help you balance. Little bend here, bring the hands in, the knee bends. Extend everything out nice and long. Go ahead and close back into that position where our feet are grounded into the floor. Go to the back, press that leg up. Keep everything nice and tall. Little bend, stay up nice and tall. Extend everything out. Squeeze, press, back in. Now we're gonna go back to the side. So the leg goes out to the side. Pull everything in, staying up nice and tall. Extend everything out and brush back in. Now, we're gonna do a little balance. You can either do coupe, you're gonna have your arms in front of you, passe a little bit higher. You can either stay flat on the ground or lift that heel up. Totally up to you. Just a little balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend your knees. We're gonna slide to the right, bring that foot in. Slide to the left, bring that foot in. Slide to the right, bring that foot in. Last time to the left with this. Now back to the right. Bring the foot up to the low position. Slide to the left. Foot in coupe, nice and low. To the right, coupe. Last time to the left with this. Coupe. Now go back to the right. Bring that foot up a little bit higher. Passe. To the left. Foot a little bit higher. Passe. Right and up. Back to the left. Bring that foot up and set it down. Good. We'll do that whole thing on the left. So brush that left foot out. Stand nice and tall, pulling through the fingertips. Bend the knee. Stay up nice and tall. Arms come in front. Extend to the front. Pull everything out. Pull out of your toes. Pull out of your hands. That'll help you balance. Close. To the side. Pull everything into the coupe. Everything out. And close. Now we're going to go to the back. Brush that foot to the back. It doesn't have to go high. Bend everything in. Keep the core in tight. Extend everything out. Close. Last time to the side. Pull, pull, pull. Feel that opposition. Bend everything in. Extend everything out. Close back. Standing on both feet. Now our balance. Either in coupe and passe. Either on a flat foot or let the heel raise. It's up to you. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to slide to the left. Slide to the left. Bring everything in. Slide to the right and in. Let it go. Left and in. Let it slide and flow. This time, bringing the foot to the low position. Coupe. To the right. Coupe. To the left. Let your head go. Coupe. Just keep your core in tight. Good. Foot up to passe. A little bit higher. Feel that slide. To the left. Last time to the right. Good. Let that foot drop down. Good. Roll the shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. Now we're going to go through a little drop swing series. So this should feel really good. We're going to start with our hands above our heads. I'll just sort of talk you through it a little bit and then we'll do the exercise together. So what you're going to do, your hands are above your head. You're going to fold at the waist, drop the hands down. Then, like you're riding a little bit of air, like you're jumping off of a ski hill, come back down and up. So our drop swing, we drop our head down, we bend at the waist, our hands come back, little lift in the back, drop and down. So the way this looks is like that. So just ride your momentum down and up. Keep your breath. So we'll do a couple regular drop swings. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. They're a little quick, so you can use your momentum. Drop it down, core and tight, and up. Fold at the waist, ride that wave, and up. Last time like this, and up. Add a little jump at the bottom. So you're going to drop down, little jump, all the way back up. Drop it down, bend at the waist, little jump, and up. Feel that air lifting you up. Use your breath. Exhale at the top. Good. This time, we're going to drop down. We're going to drop up. We're going to bend the right arm in, left arm in, and then let it go to come back up. So one more time. We're dropping at the waist. We're coming all the way up. We're dropping to the right. We're dropping to the left. Let it go. Arms come back all the way up at the top. So let's try that together. Dropping down, dropping up, bend at the right, bend at the left, drop it down and up. As you get more comfortable, really let it go. Whew. Whew. Use your breath. Exhale and inhale. So drop it to the front, up, all the way to the right, to the left. Drop it down and up. Last time, drop it over and up. Right arm, left arm. Drop and up. Fold yourself over. Go ahead and just relax down. So if you don't have as much flexibility in the backs of your legs, you can just hang halfway. That's totally fine. If you want to bend your knees all the way so you can get your hands to the floor, that's cool too. Just hang out here for a second. Try to feel the stretch in your low back and down the backs of your knees. Slowly bend your knees and roll up with nice bended knees. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale. Good. Okay. Nice. So that's just a little bit of technique, sort of bringing some ballet basics that sort of got involved into some modern dance theories too. It's making it a little bit more human. So let's go ahead and do some things that I think are going to be really fun. So you're going to be creating some of your own movement here. Catch your breath, get some water. I'll talk you through this real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some visualizations to think about. So for example, the first one, floating in water. I'll say move like you're floating in water. And what I want you to do is take that thought, hear it, let it sift around in your brain for a second. Use that mind-body connection, follow your impulses, and just sort of try to take that visualization into movement. So try to bring it from the head down into your gut, down into your engine, and let it move out. So what does floating in water feel like to you? So we're going to do a little series of these visualizations. I'll give you something to think about that I want you to visualize, digest, but then quickly just go into movement. Try not to edit, try not to judge yourself. So when I say float in water, let it come in, let it come out. Float in water, what does that feel like? So go ahead and just start in whatever position is comfortable for you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale everything out. You can close your eyes if you want or keep them open. First, visualization is floating in water. So floating in water, what does that feel like to you? What does that look like in your body? So not what does it look like to me, not what does the audience think? What does that feel like? And how does that express for you? So floating in water. Just take a second to really think about it. Start to move your body. And then maybe explore some different possibilities. So maybe you're floating in a pool with your hands on the surface and you're just wading around. Maybe you're lying back in the ocean, letting the waves take your body. So think of that visualization and just let it express through your movement. Good, and just keep going. 3, 2, 1. The second visualization is something where you're in a very small space. So very small space, go. What does that feel like to you from the inside out? So if I'm asking you to move in a very small space, what is that like? And how can you create different movements that might be interesting for you to explore? So follow your impulses, very small space. What does that feel like to you in movement? Maybe you want to take it to the floor. Totally up to you. Very small space. Let it come from the inside out. 3, 2, 1. The next visualization is heaviness. When I say heaviness, go. What does that feel like to you? What does that heaviness feel like? Just let it go. Follow your impulses. Heaviness. Maybe you've got something heavy on you. Maybe you're physically heavy. Just explore here all the different options. Good. 3, 2, 1. Your next one is a very large space. So very large space, go. What does that feel like to you? Just let it go, explore. Maybe it's that you can move all around your room. Maybe it's that it just makes you feel nice and big. Very big space. Just let it go. Follow your impulses. Don't worry about what you look like. How does it feel? 3, 2, 1. Next visualization is that very first sunny day after a long winter. Let's go. So that very first sunny day after a really long and cold and crappy winter, what does that feel like? Just give yourself permission to let go and explore. Movements don't even have to be super big. Just really try to envision yourself there. Let that thought travel into your body, through your core, and let it express out. Good. 3, 2, 1. Next one, very crowded place. Go. You're in a very crowded place. So let that thought take you on a ride. How does that make you feel? Worry about how it feels, not how it looks. Letting it come from the inside out. Very crowded space. Good. 3, 2, 1. Next one is a completely dark place. So go. If you were completely in the dark, literally could not see, maybe go ahead and close your eyes for this one. And you're trying to walk and move through it. We all know what that's like, right? Visualize it. Feel it. Let it live in you. Bring it from the inside out. Very dark place. Completely dark. You can't see at all. How does that make your body feel? And 3, 2, 1. This visualization is that you're completely limitless. So completely limitless. Go. Just let it go. There are no rules here. How does that make you feel? What do you want to do? Do you want to yell? Do you want to scream? Do you want to move big? Do you want to move small? There are no right or wrongs. Take it to the floor. Move around. If you're limitless, right here in this moment, what does that feel like? You're in your bedroom. You can bounce on your bed. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, keeping this idea going, so go ahead and just settle down. Keep your feet right under your hips. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. We did this last week. So if you were here last week, you kind of know the drill. Maybe push yourself a little bit farther to just completely let go and follow your immediate impulse. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a word, and I want you to create either a motif, so like a movement or a pose that it makes you think of, or you can keep the movement going. So it can be something that moves you, or it can be something more like a pose or a movement. I'm going to give you one word. We're going to sit on it for a couple seconds. You're going to create a movement, a motif, or a pose, or a feeling that it makes you think, and just let that flow in and out. So again, mind-body connection, you hear it, and then immediately let it express through movement. I'm going to give you one word. The first word, I'm going to be looking down a lot too so I can read them. Our first word, 3, 2, 1, is peace. So when I say peace, what does that feel like and look like to you? Second word, change. What does change feel like? Just let it go. When I say change, what's the first movement you want to do? Third word is trust. So when I say trust, what does that feel like to you? Next word is family. So when I say family, a pose or a movement or any sort of motion that makes you think of family. Next one is guilt. How does guilt feel to you? Next word is let go. When I say let go, immediately start moving. How does that make you feel? Good. Next word, dread. When I say dread, how does that feel to you? The next word is ache. Ache. Heartache. Hear it. Let it just express through. Don't edit at all. Don't worry about what you look like. You're perfect. Next word is heal. Heal. Let it go. What does it make you do? Next word is time. What does time make you feel like today? No editing. Just let it go. Follow your impulse. Next word is strength. Strength. Good. Next word is wonder. So when I say wonder, let it come in and out. Wonder. What does wonder look like, feel like today? Shame. Next word is shame. Good. Next word, sadness. Let it come in, out, sadness. Next word is connection, connection. Hear it and let it come out. Next word, playful. Hear that word and just let it go. Next word, depressed, depressed. Next one, separation. Separation. Just hear it and let it come out. Next word is vulnerable. Vulnerable. Good. Last word is freedom. Hear it and let it go. Freedom. Good. Let it go. Freedom. Let it take over. Let go of your head, your neck. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Good, good, good. Come back to that position. Feet right under the hips. Roll your shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath. Good. Let it go. All right. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little improv dance party. And I can't see you, so don't worry about what you look like. I'm going to grab our music. Hopefully you can hear it. What I want you to do is take everything that we sort of worked on today and just try to use it as a tool, as a guide for this movement. But it's really just a moment for you and for us to feel a little connected even though we're separated. So even though I cannot see you, I know that you're here, which is great. So to get started, go ahead, close your eyes, find a comfortable place that you want to begin. I'm going to start a song. It's just for fun. And I want you to just let go, follow your impulses, dance around your room. Think about what we've done today, but not too hard. Just let it go, okay? Let's have a dance party. When you're ready, deep breath in, and let's go.
It's my turn to make that call. I just want a touch, I ain't here for love no more. Okay.
So follow those impulses and just let it go.
Guess what? Ella, it's my body.
Let it come from the inside out.
Ella, it's my body. I'll dance if I want to. Ella, it's my body. Ella, it's my body. Some people do, but some they just like to talk.
Don't worry about what you look like, just worry about how it feels. Good work.
Some need the light and some people like the dark. Okay. I'm upset. No, guess what? Ella, it's my body. I go in life. Ella, it's my body. I'll dance if I want to. Ella, it's my body. Ella, it's my body.
Good. Let it slowly come back in. Bringing those feet under the hips. Good. Close your eyes. Take nice deep breaths. Good. You can keep a little movement in your body. A little sway. Focus on your breath. Inhale in. Exhale everything out. Feel the way your heart is beating against the wall of your chest. Letting your rib cage rise and fall. Doing a full body scan, just checking in with yourself. How do you feel? Do you have tension? Keep breathing in and out, keeping your eyes closed. Take a deep breath in. Hands come up above the head. Press the palms of the hands together. Pressing the fingertips and the palms together as the hands float down in front of your face all the way down. Let the heels of the hands separate. Let the fingers separate. Again, deep breath in. All the way up. Press the palms together. Keep that pressure as you lower the hands down in front of the face. Letting the heels of the hands separate. Fingertips separate. Go ahead and just stand with your hands down by your sides. Slowly letting your breathing quiet down. In through the nose. Visualize that air pressing down into your lungs and expanding through your body. Just having a moment to be here with yourself. I want to thank you for joining me here and sharing this space with me. Even though we are apart, it's nice to have these moments of connection. Go ahead and thank your body for allowing us to just carry us throughout these crazy days. Check in with yourself, see how you're feeling, no judgment. Last deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you're ready, slowly bring your palms of your hands together at your chest and slowly open your eyes. In 3, 2, 1. Good. Great job, everyone. I can't see you, but I know you did great. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you had fun and learned something a little new, and then also maybe learned something about yourself. I'm still learning how to use computers. But we will be here every Monday. Thank you so much for coming. Maybe take a couple of minutes to just sort of cool down, maybe do some deep breathing, a little bit of stretching. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Good work. Bye, y'all. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.